What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the blue color, playing as Hades. His name is Hagrit, the magical half-giant from Harry Potter. He is not that character. That is Hagrid. This is Hagrit. He is his own man with his own dreams and aspirations. And in this game, his dreams and aspirations are to defeat his opponent from the Netherlands, I believe. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. His name is Suppe, a great big bowl of soup. And he is playing as Thor, the Viking himself. The Boit impersonator. If you guys haven't seen him, he has his own stream. Same too does Hagrit have his own stream. Both these guys stream, and they're both very attractive individuals. But Suppe is maybe a little bit more attractive than Hagrid, I would say. If you know what I'm saying. Hagrid, call me. No. Hagrid, you can call me, but Suppe also call me. Alright, onwards and upwards. We've got a game here. This is group stages. Thor versus Hades. Let's check the map out just a little bit here. As Hagrid searching around his own base. He's got himself double Rhino here. Double Rhino. Suppe is Danish. Hagrid is Netherlands. I got it the wrong way around. Hagrid is Netherlands. Suppe is Danish. Basically the same country, right? Okay, so we are finding ourselves a healthy amount of gazelle at the top side of the map here. We've got a good healthy amount of rhino. So there's 1,000 food in the main base. And we do have 9 gazelle there. And this is looking like just a 2 spawn hunt pack here. So just the main hunt and the secondary hunt, which, I mean, Suppe's not going to be happy about, but it's still decent. This is 100% more hunt than you would get on like an Oasis. So you got to be happy with that. And there's also the added benefit of, well, it is Thor. So not having the great hunt is a bit of a sad one there, but we'll see how it's going to go. There's now Suppe making his way over here to this hunt over here. And the temple up now for Suppe. I'm surprised to see him move to this food, to be honest. I don't fully understand why that's the case there. Apparently we're just, what are their YouTube channel? Well, their Suppe's Twitch channel or Twitch name is Husk Suppe, and Hagrit's is EEL_Hagrit. EE League is what it stands for. But yeah, Hades versus Thor on this, in general, the matchup is pretty up in the air because it's a pretty close matchup. Hades is defensive god. Hades is a defensive god. Thor is a raiding god, built around timing attacks. So Hades is kind of one of the best gods to stop said timing attacks, but that still makes it very, very even. Oseberg Wagon in the middle of the map. We'll see if Suppe is going to be going for that one. Of course he is. Hagrid, on the other hand, does he already have his Ajax out? No, he hasn't spotted the relic. We do have a relic at the top side of the map. The heart is Folly +2, Kizoskopos, Priest, Ulfsark, Line of Sight. And we'll see how it's going to go. There is a big problem with having 2 big amounts of food. And I think this is the reason why Suppe went for this strategy that he did. He's just leaving Hunt behind. I'm not sure what's going on here. As Suppe's advancing through Freya right now. But I think the reason why Suppe moved to this food earlier was because he knows it's going to be tough for him to defend Ajax Chiron early pressure if Hagrid decides to go for it. Because this type of map really does favor early pressure from the Greek, because it's really hard to push the Greek off of this food with any sort of random raids. And the Greek gets all of the advantage where that's concerned in taking out his opponent off of this hunt early. And then just by the time the counter raids start coming in, your opponent's actually just sitting in their home base. So we'll see if that ends up becoming true here, as we do see some goats being found by Hagrid in his scouting adventures here. Suppe, on the other hand, now in the classical age, getting himself a villager and an ox cart. Trying to delay that ox cart as long as he possibly can before the Dwarven Gold Mine comes in, as we do see a very, very early forest fire there. Not getting any villager kills, but going for it. See, the thing is, in a tournament, sometimes it's worth it in these kind of games to try and go for the cheap win. Doesn't happen very often, but you can get upwards of 4 kills off of that early forest fire if the villagers decide to be crazy enough. As we do see Hagrit dropping down a military academy in a pretty decent position here. We see the Valkyrie moving in onto this position over here to start harassing these villagers. Hagrit not yet paying attention, but he is moving in to push off Soup here, and Soup loses a villager in the early game as Hagrit does manage to retreat one villager away, but Hagrit will be losing a villager here. Oh, Hagrit gets the other villager, keeping that one alive as the Valkyrie does move around, gets one villager kill. The ox cart going down there for Soup, as Soup's going to be a little bit furious there, losing that one. Definitely shouldn't have. He's got 3 Herser out as well. As we do indeed have, what's his name? Dar Ironsucker. Yes, that's what they called this Herser. So he exists, and he's going to be telling the Minotaur to get out of here for the time being here, as Hagrid is pumping units, but it looks to me as if he is not fully sold on the idea of going hard in the classical age here. He might be wanting to go to the heroic age pretty fast. Idea being maybe a pacifist or something like that beyond this, but we'll see what he's going to choose to do with his units and if he's just going to go defensive or not. As the villagers, still 5 remaining on this food over here, trying to eat up as much of it as he possibly can. Soup, on the other hand, town center time. There you go. I have said that one of Soup's weaknesses is the refusal to do anything heroic age based. He hates going to the heroic age early with Nords. He much prefer to be a little bit more chaotic. But on a map like this is 100% a fast heroic age style map where you know your opponent's low on food, probably not going to be able to afford the Huskar in as big of a margin, though we do see 20 goat for Hagrid, which is a healthy amount of goat, and 13 goat for Soup, so he knows that there's a healthy amount of goat on the map. But the point is, getting a Huskar, throwing axemen, raiding cavalry even here for Soup is a really, really strong composition to go for a gold starve or something with a frost. As Hagrid now does manage to snipe down a Valkyrie there, and we'll see what Soup wants, or what Hagrid wants to do now with this army as he's moving out across the map. Hagrid's got plenty of resources in the bank. He doesn't really know that Soup is getting a town center here, it seems, as the town center just pops. And now we'll see what Hagrid wants to do here. Now, the thing is, Hagrid doesn't know there's a gold mine there. He does know that it's double gold mine in his main base. As we do see the Zom coming in. Zom. The raiding cavalry are going to be retreating back. And the unit's moving in to try and take out Soup's Herser here. He does manage to catch them out, which is huge, and spots the gold mine. Spots the forward gold mine, realizes there's no villagers on it, as all the villagers on the back gold mine here doing what they need to do. And we'll be seeing the Sentry Tower getting taken down as some units moving in onto this position to try and defend. Soup really shouldn't be going for any crazy big fights. He does try and take down the Toxotes, but the Toxotes managed to pick off one Herser there and almost pick off a raiding cavalry as it does get to safety here, as Soup is now on the wood over here and is spamming out units as best as he can, realizing he can go with throwing axemen, going heavy onto the wood, pulling villagers off of this wood line, throwing more buildings down. Might have to see Soup getting himself watchtowers here even to try and hold on, as his buildings will get continuously torn down here. But Soup does realize he's trying not to fight as best as he can, keeps pulling his units away. Nice micro here from Hagrit trying to take down Soup's units here, as we see some more houses coming up. We are seeing some stray units getting killed here for Hagrid as he's continuously pushing in here. We see the temple getting taken down, and where to next is the big question. Does he try and take away that Osberg wagon there from Soup? I feel like Soup's not going to want to allow that. It's a big ticket relic there, though. He's not Egyptian, so it's not that big of a deal. As Hagrid's still just kind of waiting with his units. He's spent all his resources now. He's going ham. He's got 3 military buildings, mostly Toxotes and Hoplites here in this army, as he's going to be roaming around here. One way you can do this a little bit more haphazardly, a little bit, maybe not haphazardly, it's probably the wrong word, but a little bit more aggressively, is you can split your Chiron and Toxotes up so that they're moving much faster than those, well, they're moving at the same speed as those Hoplites, I guess. Doesn't really matter, but you can get in and have them targeting down these units from afar, which is a little bit more efficient. We do see some raiding cavalry here moving in as they do dodge some arrows nicely, but it does seem like Hagrid's micro here is very, very on point. As Soup struggling just a little bit, 70 population to Hagrid's 91 population here. As Hagrid pulls back yet again, he's still happily eating all of these goats, and just because he's Hades, he's just living the dream here. And I do think that Hagrid has got the right idea, which is 100% going to be Apollo here. The idea being that we've got a gold mine up here that might need an underworld too, a gold mine over here as well. As we do see the units moving in, they will spot these villagers here, and Hagrid's going to swing around, but Soup does have an easy move over onto this wood here, so he shouldn't really be losing any villagers here as he does retreat back. Hagrid yet again getting some good volleys in. He does still have himself restoration and no forest fire here for Hagrid, as we see the Toxotes moving in here, going to help out. Hagrid turning around, getting some return fire. There's the raiding cavalry moving in. You have to keep the hoplites back. There's actually no real need to have them fighting here, but Hagrid's going to be trying to do that here. He's taking out those raiding cavalry nicely. Still no restoration. The medium hoplites and Toxotes coming in there for Hagrid in the middle of this fight as Soup gets kind of pushed back. Soup does have himself the Pierce armor upgrades at bronze armor here as the fighting is continuing. 73 pop for Hagrid to Soup's 65 population. So that's a big development here for Soup as the gold just about to expire. Soup is on this gold mine though, so he doesn't really need to go there. He should probably jump onto the food here and try and get to the next age. But moving up to the top location here, we are seeing those raiding cavalry getting taken out as what happens next is that Hagrid gets a whole bunch of incredibly strong, I would say a whole bunch, but he's just got one, of incredibly strong Hades shades. As we do see the dwarves making their way over onto this gold mine, and the units here for Hagrid going to immediately move up here. And let's see, when will Soup react? Will he see it? It looks like the units will pop in over here. Oh, he sees the units moving in. There's no way he doesn't retreat here as Soup is now coming up to try and distract just a little bit. I'm confused. Soup doesn't need to be out here on this gold, man. He's got this gold here, which is a million times more safe as the units coming around, trying to snipe down some of the military units. Seems like Soup's trying to use this as a bit of an opportunity to take out some of Hagrid's more weak units, trading it for some economy, I guess. There's now Hagrid. Is there an armory up? Still no armory, but I see him move to the front gold mine here as the throwing axeman hitting some units in the middle of the map here nicely. And Hagrid's 101 population. Soup's at 93 population. There's a lot of dwarves on this gold. Just pull them off. Come over here. And Soup retreating back into his main base. Still has a decent amount of goats left here. Nearly at 300 food. We are seeing some raids coming in to Hagrid's base. Spotting that the gold is not here. Still looking for it. He must realize that it's elsewhere as we see an armory coming up now. Plenty of villagers here to kind of attack Soup's raiding cavalry as Soup does decide to get out of there. Returning back, we see some walls getting thrown up. That's going to be enough to stop the raiding cavalry from getting in here. Nice play from Hagrid to notice that. Gives him a little bit of time here. Going to be attempting to repair this one back up. It's just not going to be quite fast enough here. There's now Hagrid moving over here. So Hagrid can go Aphrodite here as well as another option that didn't really discuss to kind of take out what Soup's got as Soup decides to turn around. We do have watchtowers, no crenellation. Lots of villagers on favor here for Hagrid. I'm not sure what he's saving up for. He could be going for Mass Minotaur at this stage, which would be very interesting. He's sniping off some villagers, building some farms here. As Soup's got no food left in the bank, has to get a lot of farms out here, and in a bit of trouble in a big way. As there's the restoration coming through for Hagrid, as Soup going to be losing those units brutally. Hagrid gets to stay pretty solidly at his 100 population as Soup has to pull back, but right now Soup actually leading in the score, 100 population to 94. But what Soup needs is farms, And these villagers are about to get pushed off. This gold mine about to get pushed off. There's so many Toxotes here for Hagrit, as the villagers getting killed here is absolutely brutal. And we do have ourselves iron shields, however, for Soup. Iron shields absolutely huge for his units to come in and take down these Toxotes. And we'll see if he's going to be able to do so in any efficient way, as Toxotes is able to take down throwing action fairly fast. There's the Aphrodite coming through for Hagrit. And Hagrit right now going to be spamming out Nemean lines. He's going to 48 favor, 8 villagers on favor, 10 villagers on gold. Still hasn't made any just yet, as the dwarves getting pushed off of this gold mine. And as this game is continuing, Hagrit simply just, well, not Hagrit, Soup simply just does not have the resources to get to the next age, as the Nemean lion is going to be moving forward onto this location. Hagrit doesn't have an eye on that top gold mine just yet. He has started building those Nemean lions. He doesn't have an option of going to the Mythic Age here through Artemis to Earthquake that hometown center, as well as more dwarves are getting taken out. And now the Toxotes come over here to try and pick off some of these units as well, as the villagers jumping onto the Savannah tree over here. And Stray Herser will get taken out fairly fast here from Hagrid. He's very well aware that's a weakness there, and he does deal with that as Soup decides to tap out. I feel like there was a very different approach here that Soup could have played, but even without that approach, had Soup grabbed this gold mine first and then moved to his back gold mine, he wouldn't have had to come over here. He wouldn't have had that slowdown on his gold economy. Probably would have realized going to the heroic age before running out of food was a really, really important thing against those Toxotes as well. If you can make Huskal here, just kind of wins the game. But a nice play here from Hagrid nonetheless, putting good pressure on everywhere, and he does force Soup out of this game. Without all the hunt in the world, things become a little bit more challenging for the Norse, though having watched this game, it does look very winnable here, especially the way that Hagrid played it. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.